2K Sports pregame show.
And on one of the epic nights in the NBA, welcome one and all to the All-Star Game on 2K Sports. I'm Ernie Johnson alongside former All-Star Shaquille O'Neal and a guy who has watched the All-Star Game a lot, Kenny the Jet Smith.
Oh, I thought you were going to say your name. You've watched it a lot as well.
And I'm fixing to watch another one. Tonight, it'll be the West All-Stars up against the East All-Stars. And even though today won't count in the standings, still such an exciting day in the NBA, and both teams are up for this one. And how much fun is this? The All-Star Game officially upon us, typically a high-scoring, fast-breaking affair. Shaq, any reason to think it's going to be anything different this time around?
Well, there are no more Dikembe Mutombos.
Oh, that was very impressive.
Thank you, Ernie. Not as many shot-blocking centers in the league now. That might have slowed things down a little. Offense rules the game. I wish Dikembe was still here so he can go, no.
Hi, everyone. We welcome you to the NBA All-Star Game. I'm Kevin Harlan, along with Greg Anthony and Clark Kellogg.
And you know what? This is probably, Kevin, my favorite date on the NBA calendar. I mean, with the amazing collection of players we have here tonight, this year promises to be an epic event.
Absolutely.
Guys, it always is. I mean, the privilege of playing in this game means so much to every one of these players. I mean, being on this huge stage brings out the best in the NBA's biggest superstars.
This is Kevin Harlan with Greg Anthony and Clark Kellogg and our sideline reporter, Doris Burke. A look at the West All-Stars starting group. Kawhi Leonard is out there with Durant, and there's Bryant, then there's Russell Westbrook, and it's Curry in at the one spot. Shots good by Anthony.
And there's such a sense of history that surrounds the All-Star Game. I mean, this is the 65th time this event has been held, and you think back on all the legends of the NBA. They've all made their mark in some way on this contest.
Well, the All-Star Game D is in full effect. They typically clamp it down in the second half.
Now the pass to Westbrook. Good, and Curry gets the assist.
And this game literally has been wide open as it gets.
Yeah, both teams completely neglecting their defensive duties.
Now here's Lowry. James dishes to Lowry. Deep two from Anthony. And it's wide right. Hits off the rim. And you talked about NBA legends, Greg, putting their stamp on this game. How about, for instance, Wilt Chamberlain's 42 points and 24 rebounds in that 1962 All-Star game?
Wow, I mean, that was amazing. What about Michael Jordan following up his epic win in the 88 Slam Dunk Contest with 40 points and the MVP award as well the next night? So just so many great memories from this event.
Well, he knew how many inches he had over the guy. I mean, let's face it, good decision to just rise up and take the jump shot.
The East All-Stars shooting their first free throw tonight.
And, you know, this game, in a lot of ways, guys, has belonged to the Western Conference the entire decade. I mean, and last year they got the job done again. So although it did come down to the wire, the end result still was Western Conference dominance.
You know, he's always thinking. That's what I like about him. Spotted the open man and immediately changed out of his shot and gave it up.
Lowry kicks to Wade. At the elbow, it's James. Wade outside. Now in the scoring column with that deuce. 1 for 2 this game. And although victory for the Western Conference has been a theme in the All-Star Game recently, another trend, Greg, that was repeated last year was the East digging a big hole for itself. And you and I were talking about this, digging that hole for themselves early in the game and then mounting the huge comeback.
Yeah, that's right. I mean, the East came back from 20 points down in the first half to tie it up in the fourth quarter. But once again, the comeback bid failed to come to fruition.
Durant, the pass to Westbrook. On the wing, Kobe. Plenty of space. And that comes off the assist by Russell Westbrook. Bryant's got his first 2 points of the night. And it's the East All-Stars with the ball.
And this has become one of the must-see events of the year, which is obvious by all the star power in attendance here tonight.
Well, certainly the Hollywood crowd is on hand, the biggest names from the sports world, music stars. Everybody wants to be a part of All-Star Week.
I love this event so much because it combines the world-class ability of these players with the freedom of the playground.
Yep, it's the greatest and certainly the most fun pickup game these players will ever play in.
They get it back. He feeds it to Durant. Beyond the arc. Shot, no good.
No doubt it's been a bit of a struggle for him here in this quarter in terms of scoring.
And now Westbrook pushing it up. No one back to stop him. Anthony with the defensive effort. East All-Stars on offense. 3-point lead.
And you know, there were a couple of records that fell at last year's All-Star game, but to me the most shocking one of all, the number of three-pointers made. 48. I mean, the teams they combined for 48 threes.
There's 1:54 left in the first quarter of the game. And there's the call on Kyle Lowry. That's his first foul. New players in now for the East. The West making some changes. Here's Thompson. Ball outside. Here's Cousins. No good. The East All-Stars go the other way with it. And those 48 three-pointers you talked about, Greg, the previous high for threes in an All-Star game was 30. So that's what I call shattering a record, huh? Man, oh, man.
It was insane. And really that speaks to the evolution of the game as well. The game has become far more perimeter-oriented in terms of the skill set.
And it's good. Aldridge has got his first points in this one.
What a sweet assist by CP3.
Inside. Green with the block. And they're able to recover. And DeMar DeRozan the bucket on the assist by Drummond. DeRozan's got himself going there. His first points of the game on the deep ball.
And guys, just thinking back to last year's All-Star game, I mean, something that was really special. How about the sight of Powell and Marc Gasol, two brothers facing each other on the opening jump ball? It only took them a few seconds to answer the three ball with one of their own.
Greg, we've got a three-point battle taking shape here.
Now, here's Thomas. He's been patient so far, nothing yet on the scoreboard.
Really, the defense is helpless to stop a layup right there. Just too much of an advantage in terms of the mismatch.
That moment when the Gasol brothers competed for the opening tip really was unique. It was the first time two siblings have ever started an NBA All-Star game.
And you could sense, Kevin, that the significance was not lost on them. They both talked about how much it meant to them. It was just a really cool moment to be a part of.
From 13, and good as it rattles through the hoop.
Everything going according to the script for them offensively so far.
Clark, shots be falling. That's for sure. They're scoring with a tremendous amount of confidence.
You went straight playground old school there, partner.
Here's Aldridge. And a great assist by Paul as that one goes in. Paul's got his fourth assist with that last one here tonight. 5 seconds left in the first. Thomas, it's a wide open look. Got it off in time. And we welcome you back to the NBA All-Star Game as we get set to begin the second quarter.
And guys, we've already seen some unbelievable action here tonight.
And there will be plenty more to come. We know that. All-Star action never disappoints.
And guys, you know, we've had some All-Star Game shootouts over the years, but really nothing compares to what we saw last year. The teams combined for 321 points. That's just mind-boggling.
All fueled up and ready to go. Let's reset the lineups courtesy of Gatorade as the second quarter gets going. On the floor for the West All-Stars, Chris Paul is out there with Harden. And there's Davis, and it's Green, and it's Cousins in at the 5 down low. And what do you guys think so far about the offensive approach for the East All-Stars?
Tell you what, guys, they're showing us a lot of energy early on and racking up those fast break points.
And also defensively, they've been able to cause some turnovers tonight, and that also builds confidence and gives you momentum.
Now here's Thomas. Quiet so far offensively, searching for his first points of the game. 6 on the shot clock. Shots good by Butler. Greg, you brought up last year's game, that unbelievable 163-158 win for the West, and it was indeed the highest scoring All-Star game of all time.
Yeah, and I mean, defense has never been what the All-Star game's about, but that was out of control and made for one heck of a show. And if you remember last year, I mean, no star shined brighter in this game than Russell Westbrook. How about 41 points, just one off Wilt Chamberlain's all-time record? And I'd say Russell was a very deserving MVP.
Kevin Durant, he's checked in for the West. Westbrook comes in for Paul.
Woo-hoo! That's exactly why you watch the All-Star game, to see plays just like that.
Westbrook kicks to Davis. Outside Durant, from outside the arc. DeRozan with the rebound. That All-Star game scoring record of Wilt Chamberlain, which Westbrook came so close to breaking last year, has now, Greg, been on the books for over 50 years.
Unbelievable. And I'll tell you what, when Westbrook had that 27 points at halftime, I thought for sure that record was going to go down. Ill-advised shot there, Clark.
Yeah, exactly. That was lower than low percentage.
And Cousins throws it down.
Now that's no run-of-the-mill putback there.
Well, the rebound and then the dunk, one on top of the other.
Yeah, that's what we call a potent 1-2 punch.
Stolen by Harden. There's a whistle, and it goes on Isaiah Thomas. That is his first foul of the game. Both teams deciding to change it up. And here in the second, 2 minutes gone by. Here's Harden. Passes to Durant. Good. It's Harden with the assist that time. Durant's got his second bucket of the game to go.
Yeah, a little light on the fouls in terms of what's been called tonight. And that's usually the theme in this game.
I agree. I mean, the guys always play reasonably hard, but they don't necessarily play physically, if that makes any sense. The officials' jobs are usually pretty easy in this one.
Yeah, exceptional play there to take the bump and still get it to fall.
I like to call that stick-to-itiveness, Greg. Getting everything he possibly could out of that play. Nicely done.
Good call.
Curry's checked in for the West. Now here's Leonard. And the ball travels out of bounds. It was last touched by George. Ryan is checked in for Davis.
And, you know, the fan voting is what determines the starters in the All-Star game. Then the coaches will decide on the reserves. But either way, whether you're picked by the fans or the coaches, earning the title NBA All-Star, and that's an honor none of these players will ever forget.
Now the East All-Stars with it. There's the dish to Lowry. Kicks it to James. Takes it from 10. It's rebounded by Durant. The drive by Bryant, and it's out of bounds, and they say last touch by Bryant.
No clue where that pass was going. That is a brutal turnover.
Lowry kicks to LeBron. No good. Durant with some nice D. And it's the West All-Stars ball. Trailing by 2. And yes, sir, that one drops.
Pretty much all of their buckets coming from inside the paint now.
That's right. 5 of their last 6 makes were on the interior. They've established their inside presence.
Well, that's clearly a situation you want to make sure you don't give him too good of a look at.
No doubt about it. You cannot let up defensively just because he missed that one.
Now here's Curry. Durant, no good.
That's the kind of D you need when he's got the ball near the hoop. They were all over him.
Anthony's shot is off. And the West All-Stars have possession. Here's Harden. And unable there to get the go-ahead bucket. He lobs it up, and the ball travels out of bounds. It was last touched by George. And the East All-Stars with some changes. Wash comes in for Carmelo Anthony. And John Wall subbed in for Kyle Lowry. LaMarcus Aldridge is checked in for the West. Klay Thompson comes in for James Harden. Now here's Curry. No good from outside.
Boy, from my angle, it looked like it was in the bottom of the net. Looked good from here.
Yeah, I'm about as shocked as you are, Clark. Nice effort on the alley-oop, but probably not a good choice.
Yeah, it looked good initially, but then broke down just as quickly.
Now, here's Wade. Following the miss by Kobe Bryant. Wade dishes to James. Takes it from 10. Can't get it to go. Now the West All-Stars the other way. 1:24 left in the first half of the game. Here's Aldridge. And the go-ahead bucket, no good.
And you know what? Defensively, both teams have picked it up as we've gotten a little deeper into this game.
A little more competitive fire and intensity being shown out there now.
And some changes here for the East. Paul Millsap is checked in for George, and it's DeRozan in for Dwayne Wade. Then for the West All-Stars, Draymond Green, he's checked in for Bryant, and Paul subbed in for Curry. Millsap misses. Leonard attacking. Out to Thompson. The three. That's good. Thompson's got his second bucket tonight.
I tell you what, it's almost like stealing to watch how he plays the game from this seat.
The wide open look here for DeRozan. Another miss, and they desperately need a bucket. They can go 2 for 1.
It's about being smart right now.
A shot by Thompson, and no one's around. Good on the three-point shot. And it's a 6-point West All-Star lead. And here's the East. It's LeBron with the drive. He draws iron on the dunk. Paul, right side. The feed now to Aldridge. Lets it go from 11, and that one's good. Aldridge has got 6.
And just a nice bucket there to really just sustain that lead.
Well, a few more possessions like that, and they'll do more than sustain the lead, Greg. I think they'll start to put this thing away by pulling away.
So we've reached the end of the first half of play. West All-Stars out in front, up 8. And we'll be back right after halftime to get the third quarter underway.
It's the 2K Sports Halftime Show.